Major automakers such as General Motors, Ford, and of course, good old Toyota are lobbying the US government because the new EPA regulations will mean many of the cars they currently sell will no longer be legally allowed to be sold in America. And there's really nothing they can do about this. They could probably spend billions of dollars trying to re-engineer them to make them more fuel efficient, but is that worth it? Obviously not. Easier option is simply lobby the Biden administration and hope that they change the rules. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans, you're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you, thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to come to electrify everything in Australia and Sydney from the 9th to the 11th of February, I would personally love to meet you, but either way, I'll put a promotion code in the description below for 20% off tickets. If your kids are under 15 years old, they're free as well. A group representing major automakers, as in a group that have been paid by the biggest automakers in America to lobby the Biden administration, are urging the administration to make big changes to three proposed vehicle rules, or three rules essentially, warning they could force car companies to stop building many gas-powered or petrol-powered vehicles in America. I don't think the Biden administration will change these rules, but they could. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments if you think that they're going to bow to this pressure from these automakers. It's possible. The administration has proposed essentially rules that mean 67% of new vehicles will be electric in 2032 in America. The Alliance for Automotive Innovation, in a previously unreported letter to three cabinet agencies and the White House dated Wednesday and seen by Reuters, warned the proposed rules could prematurely force abandonment of many internal combustion engine vehicles and their associated revenue, reducing the availability of capital necessary for automakers to fund the EV transition. So they're trying to use EVs to say, don't ban these very heavily polluting, big gas guzzling vehicles, because if you ban them, then we can't make big profits off them that we could one day put into EVs. But we're going to pause our EV production now anyway. I'm not buying it personally. The agencies in the White House haven't responded to requests for comment, of course. The Alliance, who do they represent? Well, unsurprisingly, General Motors, Toyota, Volkswagen Group, Ford, Stellantis, and others. Of course, they do not represent Rivian, Tesla, or Lucid. Automakers have been sounding the alarm about rules proposed by the EPA, NHTSA, and the US Energy Department, warning this will result in $14 billion in corporate average fuel economy fines, including $6.5 billion for General Motors and $3 billion for Stellantis. So they're saying it's going to cost these automakers $14 billion in fines. We've got a whole bunch of automakers here, and General Motors, nearly 50% of that $14 billion will be accrued by General Motors. What does that tell you about General Motors? The efficiency of their vehicles. It's not very good. What does it tell you about their plans for electrification? Not what they claim they are they? Clearly. The letter signed by Alliance CEO John Bozella said the final rules, expected in early 2024, will effectively lock in pace of automotive electrification. He cited the critical need for government-wide coordination at the most senior levels and questioned if substantive work to revise the proposed rulemakings was taking place in any meaningful way. GM CEO Mary Barra met with the White House Chief of Staff and the Environmental Advisor Ali Zaidi on Wednesday, sources told Reuters. They discussed a number of issues, including vehicle regulations. So Mary has gone to the White House herself in person to beg the administration to give General Motors a free pass on the emissions of its vehicles and not ban them. And the thing is, these emissions regulations don't come into place until 2027 and then again in 2030. General Motors have years to prepare for this, but it seems as though they are accepting the fact that actually electrification for them is not their number one priority. Profits are. Today's profits. In a previously unreported meeting, EPA Administrator Michael Reagan met with the Auto Alliance on the 29th of November, records show. The EPA has proposed requiring 56% cuts in vehicle emissions by 2032, resulting in 67% of new vehicles being electric by 2032. So the primary concern for these automakers are regulations that come into place in 2032, 8 years away from now. They can't put themselves in position to sell EVs at only 67% of all cars they sell in 2032. I don't understand why that's so difficult personally. If you do, let me know what you think in the comments. NHTSA in July proposed hiking standards, fuel emission standards in 2032 to a fleet-wide average of 58 miles per gallon by boosting requirements 2% per year, which doesn't seem like that much to me, for passenger cars and 4% annually for pickup trucks and SUVs. US automakers want the increase for trucks cut to 2% annually. Now, of course, pickup trucks are the worst offenders when it comes to emissions. Many of them are diesel. Many of them have their diesel filters removed, meaning they are massive polluters. Those emissions coming from those diesel trucks unquestionably cause cancer. There is massive evidence that that is the case. Referring to overlapping, duplicative, and sometimes conflicting objectives in the rules, the lobbyists, the car manufacturers, said that the Energy Department's proposed revision of EV compliance value calculations for NHTSA's CAF program will devalue EV fuel economy by 72%. I have no idea what that means. Sounds like nonsense. The DOE proposal jeopardizes Biden's goal of 50% EV sales by 2030, Bozella said, warning the rules could also lead to investment decisions that move capital away from innovative EV technologies toward mature internal combustion technologies. In other words, the automakers are saying, if you make us switch to EVs faster, then we won't invest in EVs. We'll invest more into internal combustion. Complete nonsense. I don't understand how anyone with any modicum of understanding of deployment of capital would believe these claims. I don't anyway. What do you believe them? Let me know what you think. General Motors and Ford have in recent months, along with Toyota, slowed the pace of some EV production. Republicans in Congress are pushing to block EV regulations. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.